If you are a defendant in a criminal case, there are 3 things that you should be doing right now, whether or not you can hire a private criminal defense attorney. My name is Veronica. I am a criminal defense attorney here in Los Angeles, and I help people who have been arrested put their criminal cases behind them so that they can enjoy their lives and their freedom. And again, this video is for everyone who is a defendant in a criminal case. 3 things that you should be doing right now. So if you were arrested, if you've ever been to court or already been to court, either way, you should be doing these 3 things. Okay, so let's go. Number 1 is that you should enroll in some kind of class, program, or therapy right now. Okay, so the reason why I'm saying that is that you want to get as many sessions under your belt as possible. This is something that private criminal defense attorneys tell our clients all of the time. If the offense was alcohol related, and this isn't admitting guilt, by the way, so don't think, no, this will make it seem like I'm guilty. No. If it is alcohol related, get yourself to AA, make sure you have proof of every single session that you did, and whatever activity you choose, you should be doing this once per week, okay? Drug offenses, NA. If there's any kind of domestic violence allegations, there are court-approved domestic violence classes. You need to get yourself into one right now. Anger management, if it was a bar fight. If you can't figure out what it is, maybe it's shoplifting, get yourself into therapy once per week. And for the therapy, let's say that, maybe with your insurance, or maybe you don't have insurance, maybe that's something that you think might be difficult to get into. No, you're going to do it online. There are no excuses. You can go to betterhelp.com, find one of them, and start doing therapy 1 time per week, and make sure that you have proof. So it's very common for therapists to write up a short letter saying that you enrolled on this date, you've been in this many sessions so far, and again, once per week. So that's number 1. Number 2 is that you are going to make sure that you have a calendar system so that you are not going to forget any dates, okay? So this is something that drives me absolutely crazy when my clients don't do, but people who don't have anybody telling them like, hey, you need to get a calendar system. These are things that you're going to have to remember. On the iPhone, there's already one built in. Use that. Make sure that you have alerts turned on for it as well. And what you're going to do right now, if you have not done this already, is put in your phone your court date. Put the location, put everything that you need for it. And I would even take it one step further and take a picture of whatever citation, bail bonds, paperwork, whatever it is that you have. Take a picture and attach it to your calendar event, because that is something that you are going to want. That is something that you're going to need, and you do need to print it before your calendar or before you go to court. But that way you have, and maybe you even set a reminder the day before, or a calendar event the day before, saying make sure that you gather all of your paperwork and put it wherever, in your car, in your purse, wherever you may need to. That is so important, because there are going to be, if charges are filed against you, there are going to be multiple dates that you are going to have to remember, and you need to make sure that you calendar them. Okay, and number 3 is that you need to get organized with any evidence or documents, anything that you have for the case. So maybe you want to set up a separate email address that is only for your criminal case, so that if you do have a private criminal defense attorney, they can email you there. You make sure that you check it. Or if you're going to go to classes, you're going to have proof of enrollment, etc., whatever, maybe you want it all to go there. That's just an idea, but by get organized, I mean, let's say that you have text messages that you think are important. Okay, so you're going to start screenshotting those right now, and then you're going to have to make them into a PDF, combine them all together. You can look up a YouTube video on how to do that if you don't know how, and make sure that you save it in a way that shows the date. So you know how, at least on the iPhone, it only shows the date if it was like not yesterday or today, but a few days ago. You need to make sure that you have the date on there, and that you have the entire continuous conversation, and you save it as one PDF. You're going to want to do that with any evidence that you have. Let's say you have photos of your injuries. Okay, so save those all probably as one PDF, probably not separate files unless there are many, many of them. And again, you want to save those. I would say probably put this somewhere that like Dropbox or Google Drive, somewhere where you definitely can't lose it, but also put it on a thumb drive. And that thumb drive, once you have everything all nice and organized, is going to be something that If you have a public defender or you don't have a lawyer, you're not going to have one before court, you bring with you and you give that to that person. But you also, in addition, need to print all of that out. So if you have text messages, print it all out for the attorney, staple it, make it nice and organized. And then in addition, you should come up with a key that explains what this stuff is. Because if you don't have a private criminal defense attorney, you have a public defender, they're probably not going to have time to go through. If you give them a bunch of text messages and photos and they have 50 cases that day, they're not going to necessarily remember what you told them about it. They're not going to have time to take extensive notes. So you want to make sure that you say, hey, this is a text message conversation in which the alleged victim admits that I never hit her. That's just one example. Or these are photos from my injuries that I took, taken on whatever date. Dates are really important with all of this because to use evidence in a criminal trial, in a preliminary hearing, whatever hearings we have, we need to establish the date. If you don't know the exact date, give an approximation, but it can't just be completely undated. Okay, so I hope that you found this helpful. If you do have a criminal case in Southern California, feel free to give me a call. You can find my number down below, and you can also just click there and book a consultation directly.